So greetings, what's going on? It's Mike's from livemyassoff.com, and through BTS and then bus number 52 from the Mochit station. I've then taken the bus over here to basically Chaengwattana Immigration, which is this gigantic immigration complex here in Bangkok. For those of us that live in Bangkok, in the province of Bangkok. And I'm here to do my 90-day reporting. Today is day 75, which means today is the earliest day I can do my 90-day report. 15 days before 90 days and 7 days after 90 days is the window. The other reason I'm doing it today is basically today is effectively 24 hours approximately after I've moved to my new address, and my landlord has done her TM30, which is the reporting of me, a foreigner, staying in her condo, and I have my one-year lease. I have my one-year lease papers with me. So anyway, so I'm here, and I'm going to go through the process of ideally doing my 90-day reporting. What I may have to do is do a TM28 and then sort of let that simmer in the system for a day or so, and then come back potentially tomorrow and do a 90-day report, or come back within the next 2 weeks and do a 90-day report. So with any luck, I'll be able to just do the 90-day report today, and that will suffice. But regardless, it's 8:30, and I started my journey. I got to my lobby at 7:21, and luckily the shuttle that goes from my lobby over to the BTS was just leaving. So I got to the lobby, he tooted his horn, I said, yep. So for 20 baht, I got over to to Udom Suk, and anyway, so it's pretty easy to find Chaengwattana. I'll show you a very iconic, easy to see building. This one right there, it looks like a giant sort of palace government building. There's a whole bunch of signs additionally as you walk along. I believe I got off one bus stop early. I got off in front of TOT, and I probably could have gotten off down here, but regardless, I need to take a left here, and I need to go. So this is CAT. I could have gotten off here. Communications Authority of Thailand. Go ahead. I never like to slow down traffic by not allowing these people to go. I can appreciate the fact that they like to give me the right of way, but regardless, this is another sort of iconic building. So basically over here on Chaengwattana Road, which is why everyone sort of refers to this as Chaengwattana, which is accurate. Anyway, so you're gonna look for the TOT building, or the CAT building, or the Central Bankruptcy Court. Yeah, so I probably could have gotten off on this bus stop right here. But regardless, it's not really that hot today, and it's a pretty easy walk. So I'm not sweating it. And I do know actually that bus 52, the reason I took bus 52 is it absolutely does have a stop at Chaengwattana. So I probably could have taken it up here. What I'm already seeing, which is a good sign, are a couple of things, not the least of which is there's people here, and so I'm kind of like, you know, I'm following the herd. But the second thing is all of those umbrellas up there, which is basically a whole bunch of motorbike taxis. So I'm gonna get on a motorbike taxi, and I'm assuming for like about 20 baht, the guy will take me up to immigration. Otherwise, it's about a 2.5 kilometer walk, which is fine, but given the fact that I'm dressed like an adult, and you know, I have pants and jacket and stuff, I'd rather not. This is the other thing you're looking for. And then one final sort of sign that you're is this one right here. Immigration Division 1 and 3. And just so you know, for our 90-day reports, we go to Division 1. So yeah, everyone takes a left here, and many people hop on motorbikes, which is exactly what I'm gonna do. Although a lot of people are still walking, but I think I'm gonna take a motorbike. It should be pretty easy, to do. So, yeah, off we go. So greetings, what's going on? It's Mike's from livemyassoff.com, and I've just come from in there. You'll see a larger view of it once I get down here. From immigration, and I've been successful at doing my 90-day reporting, which was very easy. I did another video when Gracie and I got done with getting TM28s because we needed a residency verification, so that I can then go get my Thai driver's licenses, which I've done. And we did that in Phetchaburi because we were living in Chaeng at the time. And so this was my second sort of interface with immigration. And it was fantastic. It was so incredibly easy, it was ridiculous. You know, so here's the thing about advice from friends. It's adorable. But there's a lot to be said for doing stuff yourself. In my experience now, it has been 7 years since I've been coming to Thailand. And in that time, I would say that probably 90% of all of the things that are discussed with a negative spin on YouTube, as well as with some of my colleagues, have either not happened to me, or I simply don't interpret them as being negative. How's that? So there's the building there, and it's enormous. Now, to be fair, you walk in and you basically take the first door on the right, and so, you know, you really don't experience a whole lot of the building. Now, when I went in, on the right, and I asked the woman for the form, TM47, which is the 90-day reporting, I just took it and didn't really ask any questions, because I'm like, all right, well, I've read about this form and I should be good. And, but there was a gentleman in front of me. I did not see what form he had, but I did hear her say, oh, you need to make copies of this and this and this. And online, and I had read some things that said, for the TM47, for the 90-day report, you need to make a copy of your passport page, of your departure card, of your visa, and then of your entry stamp. You need to make copies of those from your passport, and you need to submit those. And there was even one place where I heard someone say, oh, and you have to give 2 pictures and give those. So with her saying, oh yeah, you gotta get copies of, I said, oh, okay. So I just walked downstairs, and there's copy places along with food places and everything. And I walked up to the copy place, and the woman was immediately ready to help me. Then I had my form, and she looked down at it, and I said, yeah, I need copies of my passport. She said, no. She said, no, TM47, 90-day report, no need copies. I said, okay, well, you could have certainly charged me money even if I didn't need these, so you didn't. And I said, all right, well, that was nice. I said, okay, I believe you believe this. I was skeptical, but nonetheless, I kept my money in my pocket and walked upstairs. I got my number. The interesting about these things, about these numbers in these queues, right, is it prints the number on it, and I was 116. And when I sat down at 9:16, it actually, I sat down at about 9:20, and what was interesting about the receipt is it said anticipated time will be 9:43. And that was approximately the time that I got seen. It was probably maybe 10 minutes later. The bottom line is I was done before 10 a.m. I was sending Gracie a message with a smiley face before 10 a.m. 9:56, 9:57, something like that. So I get up there and I handed the woman my completed TM47, which you have to fill out with about 4 items. The date at which you entered the, for me, airport, or basically you entered the country. The way you entered the country, for most people that will be airplane. Your nationality. I usually type USA, but then I sort of, there was an example somewhere that said American. And I also noticed that in the app, the drop down, there is no choice for USA. There's only choice for American. So I had already wrote in USA, and I didn't really feel like getting a new piece of paper. So I wrote, there was USA, and I just put dash American. And the reason I tell you that is because obviously this woman, she types stuff in these things all the time. And so she gave me a receipt based on the data that I put in there. Obviously, she typed in my name and my birthday and my passport number and my visa number and that sort of thing. But under nationality, she didn't like read it and say, oh yeah, this guy's an American. She typed in USA : American. So in the future, I don't know if I'm gonna have to update that or whether I'll just, in the future, I'll just type American and make it easier or whatever. So I gave it to the woman. She typed it all in, and less than 60 seconds later, the printer to her right gave her a receipt of some kind, and she gave that to me, and it was great. My experience was fantastic. It was easy. It was simple. The people were really nice, and you know, I mean, again, it's a sample size of 1. It's just me. But I can tell you, this is now 3 experiences later of government offices. This is 2 at immigration and 1 at land transport. And, you know, so far, you know, Thailand, I'm giving you a thumbs up. And again, like I mentioned in another video, there's plenty of imperfection in Thailand. There's plenty of imperfection in the United States. But I think it also has a lot to do with, you know, what you put out there, also what your expectations are. I mean, I didn't have the expectation that I'd walk in and it would be a giant spa. I had the expectation that I would walk in and I would follow the rules and there would be some degree of sort of notification of what I was supposed to do. I also had the expectation that I would probably be confused and this first time I wouldn't know what to do and I would possibly be frustrated and, you know, and then I would learn what to do, and then the next time I do it, I'd go in blindfolded and do it, that sort of thing. Just kind of like, I don't know about you guys, but, you know, the first time I do something, a lot of times it's like, oh boy, you know, and I learn something and I get frustrated and it takes me 4 hours. And then the second time I do it, it takes me 4 minutes. Which is why, you know, a lot of things in life are going to be replaced by a robot. Because if there's no creativity involved, I mean, what's the point, right? So anyway, now where I'm walking is where I took a 20 baht, well, where I'm walking is in the middle of a 2-lane road, where I took a 20 baht motorbike taxi ride. And yeah, it's hot and I'm, you know, sweating, but again, that's why I moved here. And you know, if it was bugging me enough, then I'd probably take off my silly jacket. But I'm okay with that, you know, I mean, hot and humid, dude, all day long. And it's kind of nice. I mean, you know, there's trees and there's sun. And there will probably be a day where I need to do this reporting and it's raining and I'll be like, no, I'm glad I saved that money and now I have 200 baht that I can justify this Grab taxi or whatever. So yeah, less than an hour all in by the time, you know, I basically, well, okay, so here's the deal. All in. I left my condo at 7:17 in the morning, took the elevator down. I got to the lobby and lucked out because while they basically leave at the top and bottom of the hour, my shuttle was there at 7:21. I got the shuttle at 7:21. He dropped me off at the BTS station. From there, I took the BTS all the way to Mo Chit. From Mo Chit, I exited exit number 3. I got on bus 52, and then I took bus 52 all the way over here, and approximately, you know, an hour and 40 minutes or so, I was physically in the immigration office from my condo. And, you know, but I was done with everything by 10 a.m. And now I anticipate in the future what I'm going to do prior to not getting hit by a vehicle. In the future, I anticipate what I'm going to be able to do is go to an app and report. I actually have tried that app a couple of times. I tried it long before I was eligible for a 90-day report, meaning long before day 75. I also tried it today as I was sitting in the lobby because, again, you know, it's a report, right? In other words, you're reporting your present, your location. And for me, it's a lot more permanent now because, of course, my location, sans me going on vacation and having hotels and that sort of thing, report into immigration where I am via the TM30 that they will fill out. I will be able to use the app, and basically, now that I've sort of gone in and done it the first time, I should be able to use the app to do that, and that's exactly what the app basically responded with this first time. I assume it does a lookup of my passport and visa number, uses those two credentials, and it probably, the reason it responded the way it did was I haven't been there because it said, you haven't been here. You have to be here one time. My next report date begins on May 5th. That is the earliest I can then report my next 90 days. I'll be out of the country, and so therefore the clock resets, if you will. And so when I get back from the Philippines, and then I will have 90 days from that day, and then I will either within 90 days leave, which is quite likely, because we'll be back like mid-May, and the chances of us leaving the kingdom before mid-August are pretty high because I want to spend about 30 days in the United States, leave the United States just after Labor Day, which means I want to arrive basically the first week in August. So, yeah, it looks like I will not be doing this reporting probably for the remainder of the year. But nonetheless, I wanted to report to you that Mike's experience from livemyassoff.com is that I hope you're living the dream, and if you're not living the dream, then I just think you just made it too difficult. If you're not living the dream, then you simply just didn't have my experience doing the TM47. For me, it was easy. I hope it's easy for you, and I hope you don't overcomplicate it. And if you have any issues with any of this reporting stuff, again, so far, everything I've done has been very easy. I've followed the rules. I didn't overcomplicate it. Let me know how I can help. Because again, if you're not living the dream, you're doing it wrong. And you don't have to do it wrong. Talk to you soon. Ciao.